Sean Butner, certified high performance coach, and I recently just got a question about what to do when you're trying to make a big career change in your life. And this particular person was talking about how they're going to go to a job thing that's a career focused thing, and their boss is going to be there, and they're going to be trying to think about jobs. And so I've been spending time today trying to think about how to answer this person, and I thought I'd collect those thoughts and share it with you too. So if you're struggling with trying to switch companies, trying to ask for a promotion, trying to advance your career, you're going to maybe go out and move across the country to live in a place where you want to live, these type of big change and transformation things, it can be kind of stressful if you're just kind of winging it, right? And you don't want to wing it. And as a high performance coach, a lot of the things that we talk about are how to change, how you can best make a big change succeed, how you can manage a lot of the internal things that are going to happen and should happen, so that when you are finally, when you make the jump, it's not so crazy. So I've been through this before. In 2012, I handed in my badge at Walmart Corporate to chase my own fortunate adventure, and it was exhilarating. It was terrifying. It was, I felt like I was living my life. I felt like I had ruined everything. It was a lot of things on a 9-month ride. And had I not, put some thought behind how it was going to go down, what kind of options I had, it would have never worked. So, of course, this is live, so you guys are hearing all the dings that I don't want to have come up. So hopefully that'll silence it. We're live. So anyways, when you're thinking through, should I make a change or not, or how can I go about making a change? I have 6 ideas that I would think through, having made that big jump and having a business that failed, but I had a backup plan at the end of it. So I ended up landing on my feet. Everything ended up being super awesome. And, the world really helped me along the way with a lot of random things, like a college buddy saying I should live out in California in his extra room for free for a while. And, there's people that supported me at Walmart when I jumped, and there's just a lot of good juju on it. So when you're thinking about making this big change, the first thing, and I think I've talked about this a little bit before if you've been following me for a bit, but what came to me today thinking about the person that asked the question is, like, the first thing you need is clarity, and clarity on what you want. Like, what are must-haves, what are nice-to-haves, what are absolutely no ways, and then what's really important. So if you had X, Y, and Z, like say you could work remote, you could, manage a big team, and you could do X type of work. If you had those, nothing else would matter. Or really, is it just, I want a bigger paycheck and I want to live in, Illinois or Iowa or Oregon or wherever, So if that is the criteria and the must haves, being really clear on this and not that is going to really help you feel comfortable when it comes time to make that decision. And you're kind of just trying to get in the right mindset to make that jump, So, another thing with clarity, it's understanding, like, what do you expect to happen, right? If your expectation for making this big change is that nothing really bad will happen, that it's just going to work out 100% A-okay, then what'll end up happening is that won't happen, and you'll get tripped up and freak out and then not have a way to recover. So you want to be clear on what you might struggle with making the change too. So, which leads me to my second point, is you're going to want to have options, right? And what do I mean by options? Like, if you are going to go talk to your boss about leaving the company or going for a promotion, it's good to have a couple of plans that you could set in motion depending on how that interaction goes. So if it is, yeah, we'll work with you. We want to keep you. Here's what we can offer. You need to have a plan on for how you're going to manage that. If he's like, why would you even be doing this? You're ungrateful, you millennial jerk, or baby boomer jerk, or whatever jerk. You need to have a plan to be like, well, if this works out, I can jump here, or I can, transition cleanly here, or, kind of have all that stuff worked out. A lot of people, if again, if you don't have those contingency plans, like when I jumped to California, I work in tech, and that was a calculated jump because being over here, if the business fell through, I would be in pretty close to Silicon Valley, which is the heart of a lot of technology, and I could find something that would help me pay the bills there. Outside of Arkansas, where it was either work for 3 companies, one of them being the big guy Walmart. So, having that option that, okay, and my boss was really super supportive at Walmart, and they were very encouraging and great to me. So I didn't have to execute a hasty retreat or a messy breakup or any of that with that organization. I felt really good with how I left things with my team and everyone involved there. So that felt awesome. And I knew in the back of my head that if things really didn't work out, like the worst thing that would happen is that I would end up getting a job somewhere in Silicon Valley. So that's what I mean by options. The third thing, and this took me a really long time in my experience, but is you got to have courage, right? You have to, at some point, draw a line in the sand and be like, I'm making this happen no matter what. And however the cards lie, the cards lie. Now, for me, it took me about a year and a half before I actually made that jump out of corporate America the first time. And which is fine. You need to figure out things that, that matter to you. You have to kind of go through this process. What do you want out of life? Think ahead, what's going on. But when it's all said and done, you have to be like, okay, no matter what happens, I'm letting people know, I'm burning the ships, I'm marching onto the beach, the ship's burning behind me, and this is my life now, and I have to live with it. And that could be very scary. And I think in my experience with people that are in transition with careers or relationships or anything, this is kind of the big thing where it's like, where's the line in the sand? What's going to cause you to get to that next level? So, or to take that next big, bold step. And, because it's unknown, and that's totally natural. So it's something everybody experiences, and you just have to get resolute. So what helped me, there's one question that was really important to me in helping me actually make that final decision. That was, are you living your truth? I was at a conference with a guy named Brendon Burchard, High Performance Academy, which is completely awesome. And one of the journaling exercises at that seminar, he asked everyone, are you living your truth? And where I was at that time in my life, I did not like the answer at all. So I was living in an area where I felt kind of isolated for various reasons, mostly because of me. But, I was working stuff that I enjoyed working on, but it wasn't really like, I had a fire to do something else in my heart, and I slowly dying, not chasing that, and having the realization to be like, hey, I need to try this. I don't have any family that's relying on me. I don't have any significant roots where I was. I was in Arkansas for 5 years, and what the hell do I have to lose, really? So that's, are you living your truth? I was like, no, I'm not living my truth. And then that's when I decided to take that next step. So that gotta have courage to do that. And that's what gave me courage, is like, oh, I need to live my truth more. So what's the truth you need to learn? Think about that when you're trying to live with it. If it's something like, oh, I just don't like that Nancy looks at me funny in the morning when I get coffee, sit with that and like, is that put a lot of like, does that bug you enough to where you have to make a quick action, or can you like kind of like, all right, I don't like this, but it's not the end of the world. I can keep moving forward. So when you're thinking about where to go to if it's in another organization or another team or anything. It's like, what's your value add, right? How are you going to help the team, the organization, the place you want to go to? If it involves other people, right? If other people are, their decision is going to allow you to be part of that team or not. It got being very clear on, this is the value I add. This is, how I can help the team, how I can help them grow, how I can handle this responsibility in a unique way and give perspective to the organization or the team or whatever it is for you. And this is what I'm going to do. And having that ahead of time when you're going out and inquiring about new opportunities, it's it's a marketing pitch. Essentially, you're marketing yourself, why you're awesome, and you're all awesome. So if you don't feel that way, ask your friends, like, what's awesome about me, or what am I really good at my job, or whatever, and they'll give you some ideas. But and that's the value you're going to deliver, and that's how you're going to help change the team, and that ultimately will help you create the win-win situation to make that opportunity happen. So that's the thinking behind there. Moving along, the fifth one is going to be habits, right? So when you're making a big career change, there's going to be a lot of emotional turmoil. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to need to be doing consistently. Consistently is going to get you that opportunity. So if you're very clear on what you want, what's absolutely necessary. If you let me go through this again. If you have options, so if this happens, you have this path to get out or to advance or to stay there or whatever that is. If you have the courage to actually take the big, bold step to go after it, and how you add value to teams or organizations or the career that you want to move to, then it's going to come down to managing stress. Like I said before, it's going to come down to like getting your resume out in front of people. So if you know all that stuff, and you're not consistently reaching out to people and talking, and lead to the last point here, and meeting people that have the position that you want or can help you find that position you want, you're going to get stuck, and it's going to take you either a lot longer to have happen, or you're never going to find the right opportunity. So that's why you have to have habits like working out to manage stress, and getting your resume out. Maybe for your career, it's making phone calls to people. Maybe if you're an artist, it's creating art so you can show people that you're still relevant. Or I don't know how the art world works. So if you're showing, or if you just show them a whole bunch of your paintings or whatever, you're being prolific doing the work that you want to do. So that'll give evidence that you can be competent at the job. So, and that you deserve it. Which leads me to the next point. When I was talking about meeting people, you want to find role models, right? So people that either have the position or career or job that you want, or people that are in a similar type of thing, and interview them, right? So if you can interview someone and find out that, hey, I think I want to be a super manager, right, at the Uber level in a big company, and you go and interview someone and you're like, this guy's stressed out. This guy doesn't see his family at all. This guy doesn't really have any emotions. It's been stamped out of him. I actually don't think I really want this. Or maybe it's this organization. So I don't want the job as the stonecutter at XYZ company. I want to be a stonemason at WXL Core or whatever. You're just pulling letters out. We're live, folks. And so, why? Maybe one organization's better than the other, and your dream corporation isn't as awesome as you might think. So getting and talking to people, if it's someone that's like, hey, they have X, Y, and Z in their job, and that's what is aligned with what I really want and need for my career, you can start to ask, how did you do that? Do you have other positions like that in your company? Do you know anyone else that might be looking for something like me, who has project management experience and likes to smile and can call you on the computer and not have it messed up, whatever it is for you. but building those relationships and finding role models who can help explore the position before you actually jump, so you're not like psyched out, and can actually help you create opportunities that you're looking for, is going to really help you. So that's how I would think about making a big career change. Hope you found this interesting, fun, and awesome. And if not, you probably already dropped out the video, but you, high performer, I am sure are still watching, and I appreciate your time. And if there's anything you want to hear, let me know. I do this every week. So either through email, you can go to my website, SeanButner.com, to sign up for the newsletter, or you can subscribe down below to the YouTube channel. Love it. Leave any comments you have. I'll look through them, and if I can help you out, I'd love to,